Hey, you all ready for this? Well, good evening, YouTube. Well, I did it again. Good evening, track gang. It happens to be evening for me. It happens to be Monday the 8th, 9th. I don't even know what the heck day it is anymore. It's Monday, February 8th, 2021. This happens to be vlog number 6 for 2021. I know about all the challenges. I did 2 videos, I think. One for the Train Freak, and then one was for the Community Roundhouse. But in reality, I could probably kill off 3 different ones with that one. So I just have to go ahead and update that so I can get into Rodney's and into Nancy's. But oh, that's really cute. I didn't notice that. I got a dip over here in the. Oh boy, I gotta go back and fix that somehow. Not quite sure how I'm gonna do that. We'll have to work on that one. Not quite sure how I'm gonna fix that. Anyway, I'd have to just put another piece of foam up underneath there. That's not what we're working on tonight. What I'm actually going to do tonight, though, I know I had trains running, as you all saw, because of the challenges. Like I said, I did the Community Roundhouse, I did Jason's, the Train Freak, which was the unit train, which I actually did a double there. That was I had the 2 GG1s pulling a very long passenger train, and then on the other side I actually had the extra coal drag, which was a record for this railroad. I actually had 24 cars behind a train, and it did run that way. My daggone mustache is going up my nose. I need to shave. Anyway, what I'm going to attempt tonight, because I can run the main lines, I cannot run the sidings yet. Why can't you run the sidings, Ray? Well, it's because I went through and put in this wonderful Woodland Scenics foam roadbed, which is working out great. When I get into another op session, I'll do some video of that, because between the white foam over top of the plywood and then this foam that's underneath the tracks now, it has made an unbelievable improvement to the sound. Now, you know, talking to one of my friends, they're like, man, I kind of missed that clack, clack, clack. I said, well, you still get that clack, clack, clack. It's just not as loud as it used to be. Of course, I'm still running plastic wheels too, so eventually that'll change. Don't know when that's going to happen. Don't hold your breath on that. But anyway, I kind of talked about the fact that when I put this roadbed in, and I knew it was going to be, I shouldn't say a problem, but it was going to be something I was going to have to fix. And that is the fact that I've got a bit of a height differential between the actual foam roadbed and the white foam. And what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try and swing the camera here a little bit, so you all can kind of see what I'm getting ready to work on here. I've got the cork, sheet cork that I'm going to use underneath of the passenger terminal here. And I've got myself a board, a piece of wood over here, so I can actually cut the cork on it. But that's what I am going to attempt to do tonight, is actually get the that transition from the foam roadbed to the what would be a yard, for lack of a better term. It's the passenger terminal, but it's still a yard, so that there's going to be a difference in ballast here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and put that cork down. So that's what I'm going to work on. So first thing is I'm going to stop the camera for a bit. I'm going to go ahead and try and get some of the track out of the way, and then we'll see exactly what it is that we're dealing with. So we'll be back in a bit. Okay, rookie mistake. What I should have done is exactly what I've got going on over there now. I shouldn't be trying to mess with this while it was rolled up, because it's not going to work. It needs to be flattened out. So I've got a board laying on top of the cork now to try and get it to lay flat. I'm kind of happy with it though. It's a bit of a pain in the butt to work with, and that's because of the fact that it wants to roll. What I did is I did cut the roll in half, so this is a 12-inch wide piece, because I don't think it needs to be any wider than that from what I'm doing here. And I actually cut the end off up here, and I actually cut it down here as well, mainly because of the wiring that I've already got in place. So obviously we're not going to be running trains anytime soon, which I kind of figured. Especially since I've had some place to, work over here. So, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to take you to another thing that I worked on the other night. And then we're going to get into a couple other things, and I'm going to go ahead and get this thing uploaded. So give me a minute and we'll be right back. Okay, one of our fellow model railroaders had mentioned about the wiring that used to be across the floor over here. I'm trying to figure out why this thing will not focus and why it's so dark. And I think it's because I had it zoomed past the arm. I kind of got rid of that. What I ended up doing is rewiring the temporary wiring that I had going on back here. And what I ended up doing was running the wire from back here, running the extension cord from back here, actually over there, running it underneath the bridge here, and then running it over here. So now the cutoff for the railroad is out front where I can see it, which is even better. And everything is plugged into here, and it also shortened up the number of extension cords that I had. I actually found out that I was probably doing way too many, and now, well, not so much. So that's that. Okay, well, I just went and looked at this. This has actually been underneath that board since last night. It's now Tuesday. It did flatten out, but I've still got another piece that I need to use, so I just put the board back on top of that, and I'm going to wait for that to flatten out. It's going to take it a bit, so I figured I'd get onto something a little bit different. So what I did do is I actually went ahead and put the foam underneath of the crossover here, as you can see. So now that's covered. So that one's done. Went over here to the three-way switch and did the same thing. I still have a little bit of a gap down here, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I mean, for the bulk of it, it's filled. So that's all done here. This one's done. This one here is now done, although I just noticed I probably ought to trim that a little bit. Maybe. Yes, I've got some white foam sitting out here because that's the next project. There's this one here has been covered. Didn't do anything up here yet. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with this one. And then I've got this one here for the most part filled in. So the only thing that has to be done is especially with this one here, I have to kind of glue the pieces down a little bit because it's not being held in place by the track. But let me go ahead and get things set up here, and I'll explain our next steps. Okay, as I'm sure most folks are aware, I found that I had a little bit of an issue when I laid the track this time, and that is the fact that I've got spots where this is laying over the edge. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a piece of the foam and kind of lay it in here. That'll work. Now, obviously, this is a little bit wider than what it needs to be, and there is a good reason for that. And that is if once I go ahead and I move this again, which I'm going to have to do, I'm going to take a little off of this. I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway in case I've made mistakes, and of course I just did one here with figures. But we can work with that. Yeah, once I glue that in place, nobody will know the difference. Nobody will be one the wiser. So let's do that. Got a little bit of a issue going on here. There we go. Sorry, folks. Guess I should have checked this out before I started working here. Apparently, we've got ourselves a little bit of a clog going on. It's funny because it was working fine last night. Hey, there we go. Probably what I ought to do is bring the vacuum cleaner over here real quick. So give me a minute. Okay. So I know I didn't record any of this, but I got that all done. But there's a blame Heath moment over here. I didn't catch it on camera, but I put the glue on the wrong side. Anyway, I'm gonna actually swing down the other end of the layout down here and show you what's going on down there, because up here we are pretty much got everything corrected as far as the being too close to the edge goes. So we'll be back. All right. Well, let's some of the garbage out. Not that least. Of course, I am going to have to come back and clean up a little bit more, but that's a good start. That'll work. Now, you noticed I stopped over here at this corner. I'm hoping it shows up. Maybe not. There we go. I stopped over here. Now, you would say, well, why didn't you continue on? Well, that's because there is enough of a lip here that I can kind of, I guess, for lack of a better term, when I actually get to it, either use the spackling compound or the sculpt-a-mold or something of that nature to kind of fill that in. I was worried about the overhang where there wasn't anything holding the roadbed. That was my biggest hurdle. You know, after everything got shifted the last time. You know, that was my biggest concern. So now it shouldn't be an issue. I can go ahead and I can cut this back once I'm to that point, and we should be good to go. Like I said, I'm still waiting for the cork over here to flatten, so it's going to be a bit before I can actually mess with it. Of course, once I lay all that down, then I've got to still build it up to be able to match up to the roadbed, at least where the curved turnouts are, and to get it into the passenger yard. So that'll be probably the next vlog. I was hoping to have it done on this one. It's not going to happen. I do want to go over to the desk, and as I mentioned, I think last time, I do have some things that I want to go over real quick. So that's where we're going to head now. We'll be back. Now it's recording. I'm hoping it recorded some other things, but that's beside the point. Okay, let's see here. Where did I want to be? I'm sorry, I'm a little bit behind here. Alright, here we go. Let's do it this way. And I believe that I am actually in actually halfway through the month. We'll just go from January, the halfway month part of January into February. So what we've gotten, I think I may have already shouted him out, but if not, Brian Page, he's been on Heath and Rick's channels on their live streams. We've got Joshua Rail Fanning, New York. He showed up on February the 1st. CSX GEET 44AC came in on February 3rd, and Leamington Station came in on February the 5th. Also, I have a new patron, and that would be the Train Freak. Thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate that. As you all know, I am a part of Patreon, I am a part of Teespring, and I've also got a paypal.me if you rather would do that. Those links are in the description below. Please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, ring the bell. That way you get future notifications when I pull off goofy stuff like I've pulled off the last 2 nights. Usually the vlogs are a little bit longer and they've probably got more content to them, but not tonight. I'm sorry. That's just about going to be it for this menagerie tonight, over the last 2 nights. So you all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green tracks ahead. We'll catch you all next time. Be safe. God bless. We'll see ya.